My name is Cyprian Okuchukwu Ede. I'm from Ebonyi State. And this is my lovely wife, Favor Ede.
I'm from Akwa Ibom State.
She's from Akwa Ibom State.
And
this is our love story. Well, it happens in 2022. So,
Late
yeah,
2021.
that was 2021. But then we got married in 2022. But during 2021, I moved from my apartment and rented a 3-bedroom apartment. Business was good, we thank God at the moment. And then after I moved there, I had no intention of getting married anytime soon. So, but the moment I moved into my apartment, I found out it's quite hollow and it feels empty all the time. So coming back from my business, and then I'll be told, you move into this room, it's empty, you move into that room, no, you don't have anyone to talk to. And my sister that was staying with me was as if she's just another neighbor. She hardly talks, we don't have proper conversations, so everyone is just on their own. So I now spoke to my youth leader in the church that I need to settle down. So she came for a program in the church. She wanted to teach the youths on how to make a edikaiko soup. I wasn't in the program. I didn't even come to the church on that very day. So my youth leader recorded the event. So while he was in my house, he was playing the records. I was hearing someone, a voice at the background. I was hearing someone talking about edikaiko soup, how to make it. I got interested. I said, I want to see that person that is talking. He now showed me. So that's how I picked interest. So the next Sunday, this was happening on a Sunday. So the next Sunday, we decided to go and see her, since he has the contact. So, and there is something he also said that captured my interest too. When he met my wife then, he asked, are you single or you are engaged in a relationship? So she said she's single to stupor. When someone makes that, when a woman makes that statement, you can attest to the fact that she's ready to settle down. So, because most ladies today, they'll be like, I'm in a relationship. No, I have a boyfriend, So I said, when he came to my house, he said the very same thing. So we went to see her on a Sunday. So we just shared pleasantries, She was quite lively and, happy to welcome us. So we didn't spend much time there. It was just a few minutes. And then we left. By the time we left, I already made up my mind that she's going to be the one. One thing about me, I don't believe in relationships having to last so long. I must get to know the person, know the entire family and all before you consummate anything serious. So the second Sunday, we decided to go to Amici to see her in her place of work. So, and that was the same day I proposed to her about marriage. So there was no place for all this dating. And then on that very day, I equally told her that I'm not here for a relationship. I'm here for marriage. If you no agree or leave am, make you no go to call me for midnight. They ask me whether I have eaten or taken bets. I don't do such. I'm here for a serious relationship. So that was the day I proposed. I think it was 2 weeks after I met her, I proposed to her. She didn't quite give me a straight answer. She didn't say yes or no. She just said she's going to pray about it. It was the pastor that eventually called me and said I should come to the church. And then the rest was history. It was so much. Well, she never said yes, even till today. So what happened is, when I got to the church, the pastor called me and said that she said something about me, that I was interested in her for marriage. I said yes. So that's how they started organizing marriage class for us. So every Sunday we'll come, the man will pick a passage of the Bible, teach us things about marriage, things pertaining to marriage, your roles in marriage, your places in marriage, what you should know, the do's and don'ts. So after the marriage class lasted about 6 months. So it was between that time that we had what you could call a courtship, or dating as they call it in the world, but in the church they call it courtship. So during that period, we get to talk, we get to, exchange conversation on phone, chat, and then get to know each other very well. So then eventually I decided to go and see her parents. So like I said before, I haven't had a yes till now, although we have 2 children already. So I haven't had a yes till now. I get to see her parents. They accepted me. They were happy. So fast forward to 2022. I think that was the 7th of May, 2022. That's when I went to her grandfather's place in Econo. That is Akwa Ibom. So we had the traditional marriage, came back for the white wedding here in Oka. So it has been great. It has been great. And then something I realized is, and it has always been my stand, even before marriage. I was never interested in having relationships, because most people think they need to have relationship with their potential wife or potential husband over time to get to understand that person. There is something I made up my mind about, that marriage is about you. It's not about the person you are getting married to. It's about you. So before you start looking for a wife material, have you asked yourself if you are a husband material? So while you're looking for a husband material, have you asked yourself if you are a wife material? So there's something I told my friend. He said, "Oh, these marriages that are having problems." I told my friend, I said, "See, if I ever get married, I will never have an issue that will lead to divorce, or that will escalate to the point of an outsider coming to, negotiate and then speak on behalf of you and try to reconcile you and your wife. No, I won't have such an issue." He said, "How come?" So the reason is, I've made up my mind that no matter how bad a person is, I can stay with that person. I have an experience from where I served. So my madam wasn't so much of a nice woman. That was my boss's wife. She wasn't so much of a nice woman, but I realized how the man handled every situation, every step of the way. So there were times the woman will cause a problem, me and the woman will be having issue. The husband will just call me and say, "Okwi, is it that after so many years, you don't yet understand your madam? You are still coming to me to complain that she did something wrong. What do you want me to do?" So the man expects that I should understand. When you understand people, it's not about what they do or what they didn't do. It's not about their actions or reactions. You should understand people from their own point. So when someone is behaving somehow, you ask yourself, why is this person behaving this way? So over time, I realized my madam she didn't have any child. Till she died, she didn't have any child. So the issue of that childlessness, made her quite uncomfortable. She's always at loggerhead with everybody. So she's always having issues with people, with the husband, with the boys around. So when I think about her, so whenever she provokes me, I'll think about her condition, her situation. I'll calm myself down. Well, when I listen to her voice, first of all, I realized this is someone that had potential. Because for men, it's not always about the beauty. Men care much about beauty when they want to go into relationship, like casual relationships. All these boyfriend and girlfriends that they do nowadays. But when they want to get married, it's not all about the beauty. So yes, a man will get married to a woman because she's beautiful, but it won't only be that. he will need more than just beauty. So that's why some people talk about beauty and brains. So I thought to myself, this person, you know, can teach the youths on the art of making a particular, you know, delicacy. If not anything at all, number one, she's a graduate. Then secondly, if at all she comes out from school and didn't get any job, I'm a businessman. I can raise funds and start up maybe a restaurant. You see the vision. So a man is looking for someone he can build a home, an empire with. It's not someone who is just beautiful. Because no matter how beautiful a woman is, once they get pregnant, all the beauty will disappear. Some will grow big nose, some will grow fat leg, some will grow big tummy. Even after they have delivered, the whole thing will scatter. So you consider beyond the moment. So when you look at that, I saw potentials in her. It was one of the things that attracted me. Then second thing that attracted me was her optimism. You know, when somebody is talking to a group of people, you're addressing a group of people, and you are able to move them to laugh, you're able to move them to concentrate on you. You know, beyond what you are telling them. You are telling them, you are teaching them maybe about a particular concept, but they are still catching cruise at the same time. You're still able to make them to laugh, you know, and it's still the same thing that is keeping my relationship, you know, afresh, even till today. There are times I will have issues, I'll have problems, but the way she will approach those issues, you know, make me laugh, make me try to forget those things. And then, you know, this is one of the things that I value so much about her. Quite funny, oh. Sometimes that's if she wants to be. She can be very funny when she wants to be and when she is intentional about it.
Okay. He already said how he got to know about me. That was during a lockdown, as in this Monday sit-at-home stuff was serious in the East here. So the program was ongoing, and a customer of mine then that do buy food from me and I was selling from office to office called me to say they have a youth program, and they just want to teach the youth a new, you know, a new stuff that they always hear of edikaikong soup, and they don't even know how it looks like. Is it made with vegetables? How does it look like? So everything was done, and I got to the venue, and I was, you know, given the platform to teach. So after said and done, some people were videoing me. Oh, well, you know, when you're doing something, cameras from nowhere will be rolling. So this man videoed me. After the whole program, I went outside, and that program, they cooked beans for the whole congregation. I was eating my yam and beans in peace. When this man came to say, my name is Mr. This, I'm happily married, please don't feel as if I want to toast you. I just have a younger brother of mine that is well to do, and I think he's ready to settle down if I am engaged. Okay, I'm not engaged though. I am on my own. And so we exchanged contacts and we left. He asked me my Facebook name. I gave him my Facebook name, and I didn't know this man went to do his own research on his own first. After some weeks, he collected my number. He called me and was like, I am glad with what I see you post on your social media. I am quite satisfied with the kind of, you know, personality you put in your social media. I said, oh, thank you. On my own, I don't think anything someone puts on social media matters as at then. So after everything, he said, okay, that he's going to take my video to the said brother he talked about. I said, no problem. After like 2 months, I didn't hear anything from him. I didn't, no contacts, nothing. I was like, I beg you, everybody should face front. So I was doing what I was doing. I changed location to where I got another place in the mill. And there I was working. One very fine evening, he called me to say, please, he wants to ask my permission to give my number to the said brother. I gave him, I accepted. And then the next, it was on a Saturday evening. On Sunday afternoon, one voice like this, one sweet voice called me. He said, hello. My head was like, who is this? He said, my name is Okuchukwu by name, Cyprian. I said, Okuchukwu. Since I'm not Igbo, I was trying to spell out the name in my head, Okuchukwu. I said, okay, please, I'm quite busy now. Because that was the seasonal period where, work is intense. So I told him, please, you should call me back later in the evening. I'm quite busy. But how do I save your name? He said, Okuchukwu. As I hung up the call, it took me some minutes to, try to look for where the name is, how it's spelled and everything. Guess how I wrote the name? QRR. I left it there. I said, don't worry, it's me that wrote it. I'll remember whenever I see the call. And I left it like that too. Until I came back to town, we met. So that very fine day, they called and said, oh, they are coming over to my place to see me. They said they were driving. Me as a lady, I was expecting car. They said they were driving. 2 minutes. This thing rolled up to 1 hour. I said they are coming. They're on their way. They are driving. They missed their way. I should direct them better. So I started giving them directions. They said they are driving, they are coming. I said, okay, let me come out from my said area and move forward because I know where they are is a bit far from where I was. So I moved to the said junction and I met them walking on their foot coming. I was standing at a provision store. One of these 2 men came inside and greeted me, good afternoon. I said, good afternoon. I said, is it you are waiting for? He said, And these 2 people lapped on bike. Like they lapped on bike. This one was, he cut hair, the hair was shining molo. Then the other one that was with him, I knew him. So as soon as I saw the man, I knew that, okay, the one in the middle is the said brother. I was like, these people told me they were driving. So it's bike that they were driving now. The bike is not even their own. I had to ask them, you told me you were driving. Please, where were you driving from? He said, they entered Keke. That the Keke stopped them since they could not find their location. So they had to pick bike. And where they picked the bike from is not even far from where I was standing. As they came to the restaurant, the provision store, these people went straight to where Gala and what they call the Pepsi. Saw it open, I was eating their thing and saying, hey, where is that your house? Please, let's go to your house. I just went. I won't allow men enter my room like that now. 2 at a time. Only me in one room. So I said, let's sit down, see the apartment there, but let's stay under the shade. So we talked and we exchanged contacts, and know our names now fully better. And then I told them I was on my way out before you called me. So from there, we went out. And that was how we met for the first time. After that particular Sunday we met, we just kept chatting. There was not much of a call. Within the week, I tried to call him on phone. He just, please call me back later. I'm quite busy. I'm attending to a customer. Just late in the evening, we'll get to chat on WhatsApp or do WhatsApp voice call. I couldn't do video call then because my phone was out of condition already. So we got to meet 2 weeks. That was December period. Then the second week he mentioned before they came over to where I was working. They said they were at the gates of the company where I was. I said I was coming. Only for the gates, I passed through the gates. This man left me and I was greeting the security man there. Security man was like, what did you come to do here? So I was surprised that he knew someone inside that village. So I was like, who do you go to look for? He said, this wine Ocha here. Sir, this is our company babe, face of the company. Let me not mention the company per se. So they exchanged pleasantries and we got to have our own time. And this said brother that introduced us now was still there that very day. They came together. And he wanted to talk and said, I want to ask you something, private. I said, no, let's move a little. I want it to be between me and you, not with somebody, as a third party around. So we moved down. Now, Igbo men are funny. When this man moved me down towards, very bushy area like that, with one old tree. I don't know if they use it for shrine. I forgot about it. Children were just, sitting down, eating their mangoes and all. And I said, he was sitting down on the half fence while I was standing. I said, please, he's not here for any form of relationship. He just wants to go straight to the point. Am I ready to settle down? That he wants to settle down and get married. I was still, trying to draw my feet on the ground and everything. Uncle say, are you ready or you're not ready? Are you ready to settle down or not? I said, okay, I will get back to you. Let me go and, pray and know if it's a yes or a no. He said, I've asked you if you get married to me. Don't expect me coming to put a trumpet by the side, flower on the other side, and kneel down. Me, I will not kneel down. In quotes, that was what he said. Me, I will not kneel down. So I got to laugh over it, and then he left. On his way going, he said, I have already proposed to you. That was proposal. I proposed to you already. And then that was it.
And did you say yes or no?
Yeah. I told you I wanted to go and pray now.
Until you still praying.
I'm praying. I'm praying with 2 kids already.
I think being married is a beautiful thing. Sometimes in this life that it gets to a point that even your siblings, your mom, your dad, every other person, even your girlfriend, if you have a girlfriend or boyfriend, they no longer seems so close. Like there is a certain dimension you can't share with them. So that is the closeness you share with a wife. It's not about the things you do together as man and woman. This is the person that knows when you are down and when you are up. I might not be able to cry outside if I'm passing through something. But if I'm in my house, I can cry like a baby. And she'll be consoling me and saying, Daddy, sorry, and it's okay. As if I'm a small child. All of us, yes, we are grown-ups. But there are times we want to be that little boy, that little child that we once were. You just want to be taken care of. Not physically, but emotionally. So being married gives you that privilege if you are married to the right person and if you are the right person. So it's a beautiful thing so far, so good. I really have enjoyed my marriage with her. It's not without its ups and downs, but I don't think we've ever had a situation where we needed an outsider coming to settle quarrel for us. you know, yes. There was even a time I was, when we newly got married, I was having an issue. There was something we were trying to trash out between myself and then I decided to confide in a friend, somebody that I see as my sister, a very close friend. And she's like a mother to me too. I said, this and this is going on. Oh. I don't feel comfortable about the way my wife is handling this matter. And then the person started talking. So instead of me trying, being happy that the person is saying that my wife is not getting it, I found myself getting angry the way she's talking about my wife. I was like, I didn't complain so that you talk bad about my wife. I say something like this so that you give me, an advice on how to go about it. I say, you are just here condemning her. So within me, I was feeling very angry. But I tried to close my mouth because if I burst out there, she will not say, is it not you that brought your problem to me? So I suppressed the anger. When I went to I made up my mind, come rain, come sunshine, whatever is happening, if we can't treat it in our house, we let the matter die. Then it's not everything that I go about trying to trash out with my wife. There are some issues we have, we allow time to heal it. No one is wrong and no one is right. So that's just the thing. So I have enjoyed marriage so far and God has been faithful.
I think being married comes with its own prestige and glory. Not just being married because they know you have, a said man in your life. There are some people that do follow come stay. They are not married and they are not single. Now, if a lady is in that, class of she is properly married, all dues were paid, to make her a wife, it comes with her own, with its own open doors. As a lady, I won't say, for once regret, I wish to go back to my single life. No. Either I will say I want to grow more. There is what they call beautiful lady and elegant lady. There's lady you have with, there's this mindset I have. I want to have the kind of money that I will control and also help myself and help my husband. There are some people that if they get in or find someone who can favor them, they'll say, is either favor me. When you favor me, I don't think I'll continue with the man around me because maybe I am more than him and all that and so forth. Then, speaking of favor, I don't know how to put it, but the favor is there. The respect is there. Except you don't carry yourself for one to respect you. Let me bring this in. When I got married, then I haven't gone for my NYC. And before the whole NYC thing started, a friend of ours came. I was like, I don't wear wedding ring. She gets wedding ring because wearing wedded with wedding rings. My husband preferred using Bible than wedding ring. He said, I'm not Lord of the Rings, so he's not getting ring for me. So I accepted. The ring is not an issue. So when going there, I went to the market and got a ring. I came back home.
Bought ring for herself.
I came back home. I told my husband I got ring. He said, why did you get ring? I said, now, so that anybody that sees me will know that I'm married. it's not, then I think I won't put him to bed yet, right?
Yeah.
So I said I need ring so that anybody that sees me will give me that
As if you have a
class and all.
pregnancy out of wedlock. No, there was nothing.
I said he didn't wed. We didn't wed with ring. Instead, he used Bible in place of ring in the church. He said he's not giving me ring because I am not Lord of the Rings.
No, many churches actually does it, so it's not something personal. There are churches you go to where they don't make use of rings. So what they tell you is you go to the market, get a good Bible for your wife, and that Bible is going to serve as your family Bible. So that's what I did. I think I prefer that because I believe some people will be like, if your woman wears ring, they will know she's married. Men will not toast her. How can I lie? People, they wear ring, they cheat. Just the same way people can put Bible on the head of the bed, in hotels, and still be committing whatever they are committing. And still carry a shower inside the same hotel. Bible there on top of their head, or they are doing what they are doing. So what is ring? Somebody can wear ring. If there is no trust, there is no trust. Your woman can wear ring and still follow another man, and another man will still see the ring in her finger and carry her. So whether she wears ring or doesn't wear ring is immaterial to me. And for one, I don't quite like wearing of rings and necklace, jewelry. It's not my thing. So
I got the ring and I went for the first, what they call it again, CDS, right? So one guy was like, hello. And I just did like, how are you? You're married? I say, yes, so I'm married. He said, okay, no problem, later. And that ended the whole story. And aside that too, whenever I use the public bus, some people will be like, you're married. Oh, please let me, as I'm paying, let me pay for this person as well. And I think I was pregnant then. Aside being the pregnancy, I just naturally, there was this ease with people around me that I'm married.
No, that one no get formula. There is no who comes first for negotiation and who doesn't, because it depends on the matter at hand. And speaking of quarrel, personally, I'm a realist and she knows it. I don't like piling up, anger and issues within me, because that is what is spoiling most relationships today. As a man, your woman is doing something that you don't like, and because you don't want to hurt her feelings, you now suppress your own feelings. Eventually, the feeling you are suppressing is going to grow wild over time. And then the day is going to burst. You will not only hurt her, you will destroy the whole relationship. Because that day, you will remember everything that has piled up over time. So she knows that I'm not the kind of person that pretends. If I'm feeling happy, if I'm happy, she knows. If I'm not happy, she knows. In fact, most of the time, when she cook, even now in the marriage, when she cook and the food is not sweet, I'll tell her, Auntie, this food no sweet. See what and what you missed. Put this one, So you're like, why can't you just eat the food and I appreciate it? I said, why would I appreciate it when the food is not sweet? If it's sweet, I normally appreciate you. If it's not sweet, I tell you it's not sweet. So there was I think that was the day we went to her father's house for traditional marriage. I called her on phone. No, she was the one that called me. She wanted me to send some money to a photographer in their place.
The balance of
I think
30,000.
either 30 or 25,000. So the way she said, she just said, send so amount of money. When somebody call you on phone and say, send so amount of money to so person. And I say, be like say they crazy.
Uncle just bust. So you cannot add, please.
I say, you did not ask me. Nah, do you have? You will ask me if I have first. It's after I told you that I have. You now ask me whether I can spare such an amount of money. please, can you spend such an amount of money? I said, this is the problem we have with some people. When you're in a relationship, because this person is coming to marry you, or you are going to marry this person, does not give you an avenue to speak to them anyhow, to become so familiar. They say familiarity causes negligence. The respect you once had. Now I'll be like, so if I wasn't going to marry this girl now, if she see me for road now, she will be like, good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Now, because I'm in a relationship with you, you are calling me and telling me to send money to somebody. You not ask me if I have. You not ask me, please, can you send? So I was so angry. Remember, I was going to pay her bride price that same day. I was so angry. The reason is this: I wanted to have a real relationship, not this packaged thing that people are doing now. Come outside, they're looking so beautiful, so good, everything is lovely, but inside the house, they'll be busy fighting. So whenever something is going wrong, if it's something that I don't want, I start from day one to kick against it. When you're in a relationship before marriage, look for red flags, things you don't want. Start from day one and start kicking against it. It's not when you say, when we get married, I will change it. When you get married, you will not change anything. You will find it very difficult to change anything. By then, it will be very late. Then, the same thing applicable to things you wouldn't want to be doing. Don't start doing them when you are in a relationship. You wouldn't like to be spending money, going to club, take your wife to club, or go every time you're in a rubber store, or everyday supermarket, spending money lavishly and buying what you don't need. Don't start it because you want to impress her. Because later, women have this mentality. They build a formula for you based on your first approach. That's where they're going to place your standard. So the day you begin to reduce that standard, they will not say that, they will not see it that there is no money. They will not see it that you now have other bigger relationships, bigger issues, bigger responsibilities. They will see that you have another person that you are giving those things now. That you have shifted your affection to somewhere else. So if you know you don't want that, you should start from day one and be setting your standards. So speaking of the way whether we've had issues before, we've had issues times and times over and over, but we always have a way of coming back together. Some of these issues, one person or the other, either myself realizes maybe my extremities, and then I'll be like, is it that thing that I did? Oh yeah, sorry now, sorry. And then we let go, move on. And I'm not this type of people that say, men, no, they ask for, no, they tell woman, sorry. Me, they say sorry. They say sorry. There are things I do, and I know maybe I'm right, but because of the way I overreacted, you have to say sorry. You have to say sorry. And you saying sorry doesn't mean you were wrong. It means that you value the relationship more than your stand, whether you are more than your right, whether you're wrong or right. You value the relationship more. So we don't have anybody that says sorry in particular most of the time. It could be her, it could be me.
I don't believe in equality per se. Now, this is my reason. Using the Bible, the book of Ephesians, it teaches about the husband, the children, the parents and children. Now, that means in each home, there is what we call hierarchy. The Bible has placed it that the man is to love, the woman to respect, and the children to obey. Now, in our generation today, some people has, twisted that, respect for ego. They have just kind of, I don't know how they put it, but their ego and respect is now...
The men are egocentric.
They are now joining it together. If for instance, because most issue that brings up that equality is finance. If a marriage can tackle their financial status individually and bring to a point of agreement, that equality as per se will be silenced in the relationship. For example, the man has gets more income than the woman. There is that respect now from the woman. But when the woman gets or has more finance than the man, she expects the man to respect her and let her be the boss in the house. But, men are naturally like that. Even when he's trying to, give you that sense of, okay, you're the one heading the home financially, he won't give you totally. He won't just submit totally, because that is not his place naturally. So that idea of equality shouldn't be, bring him in a said marriage. If you want your marriage to really work, do away with equality. Let the man be the man and let the woman be the woman. Even if it's the woman that foresee every activity that goes on in the home. Take yourself as you are the mother, and you need to give the man his place. He's the head. You should give him that respect.
Well, the thing is, the introduction of civilization has dealt a dead blow to us. Now, there was a time, I think some months ago, I was talking to some friends, and I told them that if I knew what I knew now, there will only be either traditional marriage or white wedding. I will not do two. The problem is we are now doing traditional marriage, which is our cultural marriage, the way we marry our women. And then we go ahead and do another man's traditional marriage. Because church wedding is the white people's traditional marriage. It is a tradition in their place. You understand? Have you ever seen American marriage? They did traditional marriage in the person's house, and then they set another date to do wedding in the church. They only go to the church and then they do their wedding and it's over. Or the courts. They do it and it is over. Now, all these things boils down to the question you asked about kneeling down. Before you ask a person, why didn't you kneel down to propose to your wife, to show her proof, is it a proof of love and all that? Kneeling down is not a proof of love. Buying you flowers doesn't mean the person loves you.
No, bouquet of money.
Now, it is when matters become hot that you know who loves who. You understand? Mm-hmm. When there are issues at home, you know whether your love can conquer that issue. When there is disagreement, is at that time you realize whether you love this person or not, or whether this person loves you or not. When it is in their place to sacrifice for your own good, that's when you know whether they love you or not. It's not about them buying you flower or taking you out, buying you or kneeling down to propose to you. Look at our marriages today. Most of the marriages, the best of the celebrations, they call these celebrities and they attended, and then at the end, what happened? You see divorce. They knelt down to propose. Okay, you knelt down to propose, but you couldn't kneel in the home. You are kneeling in public before your wife. But when things go wrong at home, you can't kneel. I'm not talking of physical kneeling. You can't bend your ego. You can't bend your will to accommodate another person. But you were eager to kneel down. So kneeling down has never been our culture. Let everybody do things based on their culture. Culture is different from a ritual or tradition. Culture is people's identity, the way we do things, the way we live. Back in the days, our fathers don't kneel to their women. Even the Bible you're talking about, that they say there is white people that brought Bible and all. Check the Bible history. Men in the Bible never knelt to their women. Abraham that we are trying to copy is Abraham's blessing is mine, Abraham is our father. The Bible recorded that Sarah, the wife, calls him Lord. But what do we have today? We have degenerated from my Lord. We started calling our husbands Papa Ifeanyi. No, I'm still getting there. We started calling him Patrick by his name, or Johnson. From Johnson, we started calling Papa Ifeanyi or Papa Nneka. Then it has degenerated to baby. The Bible never commanded the woman to love the husband. Do you know why? Women have no issues loving anybody. If you treat them well, they love you. If you don't treat them well, they don't love you. Yes. A woman has no issue loving. A woman can love even a madman if the madman is treating her well. You understand? So the reason why God commanded men, he said, men, love your wives, is because men have issues with loving. That's why a man can carry a shower where you no love. He goes, stick her and enter a hotel, do what he want to do. The next morning he goes, will you get her from this place? A man can love you for 100 years. I will not sleep with you. When there is real love. You understand? So most of these ladies you see going about and saying, because I love him, I want to prove that I love him, so I must sleep with him. There are some of them you sleep with them, and then the love they had for you is crushed because you have lowered your standard. They thought this person no go ever fall until I marry her. But because you have now come and you've given yourself, so you are this easy to get. You are this. You are beginning to temper with the love they had for you.
Speaking about this, what do you have to say about sex before marriage?
No. Sex before marriage. That's the misconception that most people are having, that it is a proof of you want to solidify love. Sex before marriage will shatter the chances of marriage. Yes. It will shatter your chances of marriage. There are some men that their standard for marriage is they want somebody who has this strong sense of purity and personal decision. People that cannot be coerced easily. So they don't want somebody who is in a haze, because most women, the reason why they give out sex before marriage for some is because they want to solidify the relationship. They feel if they don't give it to the man will run away. But when a woman loves you enough to let you go, that is, if you say, well, if you don't give me this, I will not marry you again. No problem. No problem. You realize that that person is mature enough. Somebody that is not ready to sacrifice what they are aiming for, the possibility is that they will not get that thing. If you are ready to sacrifice what you have for what you are going to have, then in the end, you won't have anything. So someone is sacrificing their virginity, their purity. Then you asked yourself as a lady, what if after doing this thing he doesn't marry you? You will now carry an empty this thing and meet another person. Another person will do the same thing. He still not go marry you. Something will happen. He not go marry you. So before having sex, you should make sure you are in your husband's house, not in your fiancé house or boyfriend's house. You should make sure you are in your husband's house. And as a man too, you shouldn't use sex to pressure a woman. Like most people say, I want to check what I want to buy first. Okay, are you buying a television? You want to check what you want to buy first before you pay. See, if you really wanted to check what you want to buy before you pay, what you do is you take her for a test. You can run tests on her, make sure her systems are okay. Number one. Then number two, you can call, because we've had an issue where a sister got married, and then when the man went in to consummate the marriage, they found out that the sister doesn't have a private part. That place was blocked. Maybe she had this deformity or something. There was nothing. The marriage was disannulled. They dissolved the marriage because it wasn't a marriage in the first place. You hid such an vital information. Now, this is why I brought this up is, if you really want to check out the woman you want to marry, before marriage, you've gone through marriage, marriage class, courtship, everything. The church is aware. And we have leaders in the church. We have mommies. No matter how grown up you are, before your mama, you are still my pikin. Abi? You have grown-ups in the church. Take her to an elderly woman, or give send someone, maybe somebody from your side, a woman, a mature woman from your side, to take her to maybe an elderly mama to check her system. Observe her. She can remove her clothes and everything. Let them check her and make sure that everything is okay. Since you want to know.
Some will be like, can she get pregnant? How would the mamas not check?
If you want to know whether she can get pregnant, because most people say you want to give her belly before marriage. Who told you that giving her belly before marriage will guarantee your chances of having children? There are people that never had issues. No issue, no problem whatsoever. They got married, their system is okay. They got pregnant. First pregnant they had miscarriage. After the miscarriage, no pregnancy again for life. It can happen. So the fact that you are trying to solidify your chances of having children, and you went and impregnated a lady, your test alone that showed that she is okay, she's healthy, she's fit for pregnancy, is enough. Marriage is not a work of something you do with physical things. You are just trying to know everything, get all the evidence. There are dimensions you get to in your work for marriage. You begin to trust God. You begin to exercise faith. No matter, even if you know they go to church, you begin to trust God. You begin to trust some powers beyond you. Understand? Personally, my wife wasn't pregnant before marriage. But after marriage, I think it was our marriage night itself that she took in. So you need to trust God for that. You don't need that proof, because that proof can work against you. Imagine you give your wife belly before marriage. You don't deal. Then after marriage, what if she miscarries, loses the pregnancy? Have you asked yourself that? Because you can't play God. What if she miscarries and then loses the pregnancy, and then you try impregnating her again and it doesn't work? Because I've seen people that it happens to. So
I think starting off a family as a husband and a wife gives you room to understand each other first before a third party, which is the child, now coming in. But if you start the home, the family, with already a third party in it, when do you have time to understand each other? When do you have time to, have this friendship as, this is my husband, this is my wife? Aside the bedroom friendship, there is more to it outside. More to it in the parlor, because that's where everybody centers. Like, your son comes there, the people around you, the family, everybody meets in the parlor. One of it is, every lady has its standard that those set. I want to get married to a tall, handsome, rich Yahoo boy that fears God. They are all standards. But in all your standard, please watch that standard with time. I don't mean time for age limits for some advanced ladies that are not yet married. You get? There are some ladies that are still in their prime and suitors are coming, but they'll start becoming picky. And I like him, but I don't like the sister that his sister. I like him, but I don't like the kind of job he does. I like him, but see how short he is. My friends will laugh at me. And all those, some unnecessary, standards that are not so needful. It's best as a single lady, keep your mind open. and set low, if I'm getting married, at least he should be a learned person. Even if he does not have PhD and he's not an engineer, he's not a lawyer, but at least he has gone to school. At least he is responsible and someone who I see he can take care of me. Whether he has it or he doesn't have it, he has that desire that he can take care of me. There are some married men that are pushing barrow for their families and they are still doing well. Their wives still, hope that something better can come out from this man. So if as a single lady, you are ready, first of all is you being ready for marriage. You are 22 and a suitor is coming for you and you'll be like, I'm not ready for marriage. Maybe when I get to 25, when I get to 27, when I get to 28. Everybody's time is not, the same. So you watch your environment, watch what goes on around you. If at 22, this suitor comes, you reject. After 2 months, another serious person comes, you reject. After 3 months, another suitor comes. Just know that you are in your prime, you are in your timing. And if it passes that cycle, before another serious person will come by, because we have serious and unserious. And I'm so glad for the kind of person God has made women to be. We can still be following the unserious person and know that it's not serious. We know we are not heading anywhere, but let's just be going. So you should know your environment as in anything pertaining to you and work with it as is.
Before the marriage.
This question, see, meanwhile, when you talk of being broke, you know that being broke is not poor, being poor. Being broke might, be translated as not having any money at the moment. You understand? But we are talking about being substantial. Whether you should marry when you have something doing or when you don't have anything doing. Maybe you are even depending on someone. Your mama still they send you some chop from village. Most of our guys that left home to feed home, but home is feeding them abroad. My dear, marriage is not yet for you. I wouldn't advise any man to go into marriage not having something you are doing. Because even the Bible never commands that. When God made Adam, he first gave him work to do, which was to take care of the garden before he gave him wife, Eve. You can see it as a folklore story. Me, I don't care what you believe about it. But what I'm trying to drive home is the fact that your work comes first before any relationship. Yes. Men love their work before they love a woman. A man that does not love his work cannot love a woman and cannot love any family. The moment you are broke and you do like this and there is no money, okay, you can't love anybody. Because loving is giving. Loving is sacrificial. Now, the same Bible still says that if a man cannot provide for his own home, for his own house, that he is worse than an infidel. What is an infidel? Somebody who is useless. An infidel is an unbeliever, an uncircumcised person. So, and he's not saying that you are an uncircumcised person. He's saying you are worse than that. So your work comes first. Before you start talking of marriage, I'm not saying you should blow first. I'm not saying you should build a big mansion and have maybe 5-story buildings in 5 places in Anambra first. But ask yourself, can I feed myself? When last did I take a mommy tankma? If you can feed yourself for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and you check the record, you are the one that have fed yourself all this while, you can get married. It means you have something you are doing that is feeding you. And I don't mean feeding yourself when you get from friends and then you eat. That one, our friends are feeding you. But you are working with your hands and making what you are eating. You clothe yourself, you shelter yourself, and you eat. You are not hungry, you eat. Then you can get married. So you don't wait. Like some of us, there's something I told a friend someday. I told him, say, if you hustle and hustle and hustle as a guy, and then you never blow, or go marry. Maybe your blowing is connected with your wife. And it's very true. There are some men that will never make money until they marry. Because the key to their success has been handed over to the woman they will get married to. You are talking of your destiny helper, somebody that will connect you. It's just that little push that you needed, that little jump that you needed. But the person that knows the person that will give you that push, that jump is your wife. And that person will not help that your wife. Because your wife is not a man. The person will not help that your wife because your wife is not even yet married. He's looking at your wife as my small sister. But the moment they find out this my small sister is now married, hey, where's your husband? Now what do you do? How can we help? Before you know it, you don't blow. I'm not saying it always happens like this, but what I'm saying is this. If you know you can feed yourself very well, you have something doing, you are engaged, you can take care of yourself, you can clothe yourself, shelter yourself, you might as well get married. But if you know you are eating Mama Tankma, your families are still feeding you.
Be true to yourself.
Then marriage is not for you at the moment. Until you are able to establish yourself.
But let me ask,
Thank
it's
you.
not easy to marry. There are a lot of expenses.
Yes.
Getting married, you travel to our family, you pay price. So like how, like what is the expenses like?
Well, there is no yardstick for what you are going to spend in marriage. Shey the video don't do your own. You see as money take fly now. When I did my own, I even spent now as I spend finish, now my eye can't declare. So, but the advice I will give for people that would want to get married is, if you are going to get married, check yourself. Know how much you have. If you are spending, don't spend what you know you cannot gain in a hurry. See, marriage ceremony is not marriage. The traditional ceremony is not the marriage. The white wedding, the church wedding, it is not the marriage. The marriage begins after all this celebration has ended and everybody has gone home, and it is now you and your wife. That's when the marriage starts. So why would you spend so much money on people that are not part of the marriage? And when they leave, the only person that is the marriage itself will start suffering. So let's assume I have 5 million naira and I want to get married. My capital, my business, everything boils down to 5 million naira. I might decide to spend 1 million naira or 1.5. Or at the most, but that everything is very, expensive and all. And you spend 2 million naira. But you see that 3 million that is remaining, make sure you don't touch it. Even if somebody is dying. There are some finances that you never touch. Your capital. Even if anything at all is happening, you never touch that. Because without it, there will be no marriage. There is no definite price range that you can spend on a low, because when you talk of low-key marriage, it depends on your definition of low-key. Maybe the one Davido did for him was a low-key. So what do you define as a low-key? What you define as a low-key might be different from what I define as a low-key. But like I said before you start spending, check your earning. Don't spend above what you know you can earn in 6 months or 1 year. Some people hustle for 10 to 15 years, only to spend everything during marriage. Just the same way some people hustle from January to November, only to spend everything in December, Christmas. And then you now hear them saying things like, hey, January, we go again. Okay, where are you going? You keep going again and going again and going again till the person is very close to the grave. So you don't spend what you know you cannot make in a hurry, in a year at the least. 6 months, 1 year. Whatever you can make in your current business, maybe as a salary earner, and you know that your salary all put together for 1 year cannot solve your marriage expenses, and you want to spend 2 years of earnings in wedding, I pity that person. No. So you check, it depends on individuals. And then there's another thing you need to understand. There is no place that they have a stipulated price on bride price and every other thing. And they know they pay woman money finish. Even this my wife own, I never pay finish. And they owe. They know they pay woman money finish. You might go there and they tell you, there is this thing that my people normally do. If they are doing a ceremony and they say you should bring goat, somebody will not bring 1,000 naira. Say this is the money for the goat. They know 1,000 naira cannot buy a goat, but they do it as a to represent the goat. They know you can't afford the goat. Now, that doesn't mean that when somebody that can afford a goat comes, that they will not collect. Or they will even collect too. Yes, you are there. You've come. You cannot go back. You understand? The problem is that most people, when they talk about getting married, they are so, they've given them the list. They look at the whole list. The person gives up. You've calculated everything is burning at 3 million naira. 3 million that you've never seen in your life. So, but what you should actually ask yourself is, all these things that they mentioned, which one is necessary? Which one is a must? The things that are must in a marriage are those things that you can buy with little money. If you're going for a traditional marriage now, they say you should buy
Let me comment there.
cola.
During our time, they put lists, and some of the lists read 1 cap for the father, and Hollandaise wax, or what do they call it?
For the mother.
2 of it for the father, 2 of it to the mother, 2 of it to the grandfather, 2 of it to the auntie. Like, the wrapper they wrote there was more than 30. Now, they put bag of salt for women, and some drinks for the youth, and the rest and the rest. Do you know that when we went to, they paid the bride price, my mom called. Family also matters too in spending. My parents called and said, please, this marriage will not just end here. We know that you're going with our daughter, and for you to be with her, that means more good things will come to us. So don't give us all those wrappers that they wrote there. We don't need it. Even if we need it, but for the sake of the expenditures you make, please leave those ones yet. Now, focus on these important ones for the women, for the youth. Guess what they wrote there? Football for youth. If you don't buy it, if you buy those Hollandaise wax, they will not.
They will not allow you enter.
You will not enter. You see those necessary small things. Bag of salt, they wrote 3 bags. My husband said he's going with 2 bags. What would they use salt to do? He went with 2. They said they are not collecting it, except he makes it 3. But they did not ask for those wrappers that they bought. Even the drinks too. He just went out of his way to, buy more of the drinks. But if he had, put it in the sense that I can't afford all these drinks, let us beat it down, they would have still beat it down. So all these, if you see a long list, that doesn't mean you have to pay everything. Ask the village, people there, which of these is important. You will find out that those things that are important, there are those small things you can do easily without the millions involved. They say 3 bags of rice. Are they cooking for the whole community? You buy 1 bag and tell them this is 1 bag that you have. Even if you have money to spend for the 3 bags, present yourself as, I cannot do everything. Because the day you present yourself as, okay, it's 3 million naira for the whole list, and you presented 3.5 million, they will be cheering you. Anybody that headache do, call this our in-law. Kata do, call our in-law. Nose do, call our in-law. And maybe the times they are calling you, you self don't have. Because you tell them you don't have, they will not believe you that you don't have.
Because of the
They
way you spend.
assume, oh, you spent that kind of money and now you're saying you don't have. So to our singles, please, when they present you the long list, just go to those women. If the mother of the said lady is not available at the moment, find someone that is in the community you can go close to. Or they call it, what they call Mr. Arthur now in this play.
Yeah. Your best man or something.
As in, the man that talks in my area, the groom coming will not talk. So it's the middleman that talks. Tell the middleman what you can do and what you cannot do. Please help me find out what is more important and what is not important. And you'll find out at the end of the whole list compiled together, it will not be up to those millions they write there. And when you still go there, you still, bargain. We know that some communities, their own price and standards are very high. Like, example, the Imo State. They bring all the whole thing. I think family matters in this play too.
Yeah.
If you go into a greedy family, God bless your marriage. If you go to a family that understands and they are ready to welcome you, fine and good.
They wouldn't allow you spend
that much.
to the point you won't be able to take care of their daughter again.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you for coming. It's been a wonderful moment having you.
Thank you too.